Alright, so the start of the year has just begun, so let's see what new Mac games are on offer for us from January 2019. Starting at number 7, we have Definity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition. Well, this is great. This game has finally been released on macOS on the 31st of January 2019. This is exactly 3 months since Apple teased the game at its October 2018 keynote event. I've been really hyped and really excited to play this game. I didn't play the first one, but I was fortunate enough to get a review copy of this game, and it is fantastic, and it is super well optimized for the Macs that it supports. It comes with new features, especially for Mac, such as full MacBook Touch Bar support for quick access to in-game actions, as well as MacBook trackpad and selected gesture support. You also have iCloud backup support between devices, and it is the first title on macOS to support HDR, but I believe only the latest iMacs can support HDR. I'm not certain of this. If you like RPG games, you should definitely get this game. It is supported on all MacBook Pros released since late 2016. It is supported on a 2017 MacBook Air, and all iMacs with AMD GPUs since late 2013 are also supported. And the 2018 Mac Mini can play this game.
Listen, I need to have a chat with this here morsel of flesh.
You hear him yelp about the Master, lone wolves, and a man called Griff. Then, quite suddenly, there's blood everywhere as Stingtail falls to the ground.
Next, at number 6, we have Scram. Scram is a new free multiplayer FPS game available on Steam. It's a very strange game where you are stuck in a place with no help, and you and other players will have to find a radio to call for evacuation and wait for rescue. When a game starts, a small portion of players are mutants and the rest are survivors who can turn into mutants if they die. There are different guns and maps on offer here also. This is not the most fleshed out game, and you shouldn't take it too seriously because it's ridiculous. It's quite stupid, really. Anyway, Scram is not a demanding game, which means all modern Macs are supported. Number 5 is What Never Was. What Never Was is a very short, story-driven first-person game that is all about exploration and solving puzzles. The good news about this game is that it is completely 100% free to play. The bad news is that, as previously stated, it is, well, yeah, very short. But that isn't really a very big downside, as the whole time I was playing, I was very engaged. I couldn't help but notice that the graphics are pretty top-notch also, and the voice acting, while not outstanding, is acceptable for a free game anyways. But yeah, the game is really short, so it's hard to talk about it without actually spoiling the plot and whatnot here, so it's free, so check it out, and if you enjoy it, then golly, that's good, but if not, you're not going to lose anything because it's free. Number 4, we have Slay the Spire. This game was in early access for quite a while, however, only in January this year it became a full release experience. This is a really great game, and it's even better because it's really well optimized for Macs, especially for MacBooks. It doesn't matter really which Mac you have, this game will run on it, because it only requires 4 GB of RAM and 256 MB of video memory. It's not going to set you back much. Anyways, this is a card game that also mixes in some rogue-like elements, and together they make a pretty decent single-player deck builder. You can craft a unique deck, encounter bizarre creatures, discover relics of incredible power, and you can slay the Spire, as the title of the game says. The graphics of this game are not outstanding, but what is the gameplay. It is incredibly addicting, and when you start playing, it is very, very difficult to put this game down. If you like card games and roguelike titles, then Slay the Spire is right up your alley. Number 3 is Pikuniku, if that's how you say it. You know how sometimes you see a game and you immediately think, I have to get that game? Well, this is exactly what I thought when I was looking at Hunico. Is that how you say the name? I still can't. I don't know. Anyways, this is a really weird but also super awesome puzzle exploration game that takes place in a bizarre world. Basically, you can explore, help quirky characters with their unusual requests, you can solve heaps of puzzles that will challenge players over a 4 to 5 hour campaign. And these puzzles, they're not very easy, some of them are actually very challenging. And it also has a cooperative mode where you can play with family and friends for local multiplayer. It's a pretty interesting, silly game, and I really enjoyed playing it and just having a good time. And you guys might also enjoy it if you are into these types of games that don't really take themselves too seriously. Give it a go and let me know what you think. Number 2, we have Gravel. On the 18th of January 2019, Mac gaming publisher Virtual Programming released Gravel to macOS. I've already put a few hours into this game now. Gravel is a decent off-road racing game that is challenging, exciting, and doesn't look too bad either. It doesn't have the most realistic graphics, instead it's more cartoony, but I don't mind. The biggest downside to the macOS version of Gravel is that it requires a very powerful Mac to run. You'll need an Intel Core i5 or better processor, 8GB of RAM, and 4GB of VRAM. For instance, my 2018 15-inch MacBook Pro with a Blackmagic eGPU can run Gravel at 1080p medium settings and gets around 40 FPS. It's completely playable, but as I said, to enjoy this game, you'll need a new Mac with dedicated graphics. And finally, number 1, we have Subnautica Below Zero. So, Subnautica has just released a new chapter, or a new standalone add-on called Below Zero. The thing to take note of this game is that it is currently in early access, and I don't know when it is going to go out of this. What this means is that it will be full of bugs, it could be missing features, and the performance could have issues on your Mac. So basically, if you're going into this, expect it to not be the most fully polished experience. You're going into this to basically support the game for when it fully releases. And you don't have to get this game right now, you could wait until it is fully released. That is basically Below Zero. If you want to get into it, you can, but just expect some issues here and there. It does have very high requirements, so it is best played on Macs from about 2014 or 2015 and up. Thanks for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want to see more content about Mac games. Thanks for watching.